And with all social media and all of these triggers, porn, all of these kind of things, we shouldn't get so complacent that we begin to take each other for granted, right? Hello, beautiful lady. Yes, I am talking to you. It is Thursday, and you know what goes down here on Thursday. Wife Life with Dr. Gail goes down here on Thursday. So do me a huge favor. Make sure you're hitting the subscribe button and the little bell right next to it so you will know when I go live.
We're bringing sexy back. We're bringing sexy back.
Let's get it started. Harder, won't you give it up?
And so tonight, I want to talk to you about why sex slows down the longer you are together. Now, let me just tell you this. I get so many comments about being in sexless marriages and all of those kind of things. I am not talking about being in a sexless marriage. I'm talking about why things slow down the longer you're together. Okay, so it's two different things. Yes, should you continue to thrive in your sex lives? Absolutely. Because when you guys got married, you became the sole source of your husband and your wife's pleasure, right? And when people start thinking that way, they will start putting their spouses first, okay? But it is a natural thing for sex to start slowing down the longer you are together, okay? Number one reason why sex starts slowing down the longer you're together is the past infatuation and discovery phase is over. So when you first got together, you guys were infatuated with each other's every word, with each other's body. You cared about how you looked all the time. You know, us women wasn't walking around with, our hair flying, and we was wearing the matching panty sets, and we were doing all of these things. And with the men, you was working out, you was keeping yourself physically fit. Same with us. We was trying to keep the hips and the guttons and the breasts and everything all in order, right? But the longer you're together, right, that infatuation and the discovery phase on what pleases your spouse and, how do I give him pleasure and how do I receive pleasure? All of those things begin to be taken for granted and begin to fade. Number two, you become secure with one another and you begin to take each other for granted. And that is something that a lot of people do, and we need to stop doing it as married people because tomorrow's not promised to us. And with all social media and all of these triggers, porn, all of these kind of things, we shouldn't get so complacent that we begin to take each other for granted, right? And let me just tell you, women, sex is the biggest way that your husband stays connected to you. And let me tell you, husbands, communication and affection is the biggest way you can stay connected to your wife, okay? So you should not get so secure in your marriage where you begin to take each other for granted and that you begin to quit speaking each other's love language, okay? Number three, stress and obligations can literally slow down your sex life. We are cranking out, trying to work hard to live this American dream, to achieve cars, houses, financial stability so we can retire and to do all of these things, have vacations, whatever that looks like. But at what cost is it to you when it comes to your sex life and being close and being intimate with your spouse? All of these other obligations, but your spouse is the only person that you're going to spend the rest of your life with, and you don't make them a number one priority. Number four, hurt and unforgiveness over the years that has not been dealt with, that has not been spoken, that has not been cleared up can literally cause roots to grow where you take a stance and you're like, I am not giving my body to him. I'm not giving my body to her because she said this to me or he did this to me, and I just cannot get past past it. If you're in that space, reach out for help, because let me just tell you, the grass is not greener on the other side, and it is not easy being single in this day and time. And number 5, body and health issues. Again, I started out by telling you how when we first got together, we kept everything tight and right and made sure that we was looking a certain way. But then as time passes, we begin to let our hair down and we begin to let ourselves go. If you have let yourself go to the point where you are having body issues, whether you're a man or a woman, address those issues. Do you have to continue to stay the same exact way that you were when they first met you? The answer is no. Nobody has. But should you just let yourself go and care less? The answer is no either, because we are visual beings, especially men, and we are inundated every single day. What looks sexy, what looks, handsome, and all of those kind of things. So if you're dealing with any body issues, sit down and come up with a plan with your spouse to address those things. If there's health issues, that is something totally different. But those need to be addressed, and you can have an intimate, amazing sex life without penetration sex. So many people just focus in on penetration sex. There is more to sex than just penetration sex. So if you're dealing with erectile dysfunction, if you're a woman dealing with any kind of painful sex or heavy menstrual, or you're in menopause, all of these things can be addressed and can be fixable. They can. But you have to know and make your spouse a priority and realize that your sex life does not have to dry up because you have been together for a long time and have begun to take each other for granted. Okay? I love you guys to pieces. I am here every single Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will see you next week.